Hey, Chad here, back with another Gimme 10, this one from the year 2007. Of course, if you're watching this for the first time, I've been doing this video series vibing with Fred Big Star 1000 and Chris 4127 Basket, and Anders Stockholm has been on this as well. This has worked out really good for me. I've had a lot of time this weekend and this week to make videos for these. It's probably going to slow down a little bit, but had a little bit more time today, so I thought I would just go ahead and jump on the 2007 Gimme 10. 2007, I made 3 videos so far, 2005, 6, and 2007 was a superior year for music compared to 2005 and 6, at least for me. A lot more really classic records released that year. In my opinion, it was just a phenomenal year for music, really. So we'll get to it with my first pick and my favorite album of the year in the year 2007, Panda Bear, Person Pitch. This is, of course, on Paul Trax Records. Noah Lennox, Panda Bears. This is not his first album. This is maybe his second or third album. Just an absolute timeless masterpiece. Standout tracks. I mean, the whole album is perfect, but Campionatic and also Bros. Just absolute masterpieces. Harmonies, the production. Just, I love the reverb on this. Reverb can be very tricky when you're really slathering it on a record. It can be very tricky. It can ruin a record. It's just done absolutely perfectly on this record, and it's just a timeless classic. I spin this several times a year. It never really gets old. It's just a unbelievable artistic statement, and an artist that really has a very clear vision of what they're trying to do and just executing it perfectly. So yeah, my favorite record of 2007, Panda Bear, Person Pitch. These are not really in any order, but I'll show you my second favorite album of 2007 for sure. It's close to Person Pitch, but I do like Person Pitch a little bit better. But definitely my second in the running for first. LCD Sound System, Sound of Silver. This is LCD Sound System's second LP on the great DFA Records. James Murphy and company really upping their sound and just overall artistic ability. These songs, every song is stronger than pretty much anything on their debut. Not a weak song in the bunch at all. Again, a much more defined, clearer sense of what this band sounds like. They really define their sound with this album, and it may be their best album. I go back and forth between this and between Sound of Silver and This Is Happening. In the end, I may like this one better. It's just absolutely phenomenal. From the opening track, Get Innocuous, to All My Friends, Someone Great, New York, I Love You, But You're Bringing Me Down, Us and Them. Just so many great songs, clear purpose and message. And I think also, he really upped his lyrics on this one. They become a lot more, what's the word? Irrelevant, hokey. I mean, he really becomes James Murphy, I think, on this record. Although, what was he? Losing My Edge. All that stuff was even 1999, but it really just became the James Murphy that I know and love on this one. Became a lot more confident, I think. So yeah, Sound of Silver. Another pick from 2007, Chromeo, Fancy Footwork. This is on Vice Records. This is actually out of print, and I was shocked at how much these things were going for. I looked it up one day on just a lamb on Discogs, and was really surprised that these things were going for as much as they are. But anyway, this is Chromeo's debut album. You gotta love that artwork, and even the front, that's just hilarious. I like Chromeo. It's fun music. The production is always just really great. I love the warm analog synth sounds these guys use. It's hokey, it is what it is, but it's fun. It's really fun, and it's done really, really well. And I think this is just a really impressive debut from a band that really takes their time, whittles these songs, works on them, and really presents an overall great package. I'm really looking forward to their album White Women that's coming out on Tuesday next week. Can it get repetitive, their sound? I guess, but I mean, you know, they're not around very often. They only have 3 albums, so they every couple of years when they come around, it's always sort of a treat. This is just, again, really, really great. This is actually has some remixes, 2 LP set. This isn't the original, but it is. It did come out in 2007. I believe this is a reissue that, again, has those remixes on it. So yeah, Chromeo, Fancy Footwork, highlight from 2007 for me. Another band that's sort of hit or miss as of late, but I think this is a really great selection in their catalog. Explosions in the Sky, I can't talk. Explosions in the Sky, All of a Sudden I Miss Everyone. I'm not sure what label this is on. First of all, the thing that stands out is just the artwork, just beautiful painting there. This LP, of course, post-rock. Actually, I'm not going to get it out because it's incredibly hard to get back in the record sleeve. Although I will show one cool thing about this. It's a 2 LP set, and there's an etching on the D side. You can see that there. You can kind of see it. It's the etching of the front cover. And I really think that Explosion in the Sky sort of peaked here, for at least for me. I like the LP before this, The Earth Is Not a Cold Dead Place. After this, I kind of tuned out to them. I mean, they're, with every album, there's 1 or 2 good songs. I really didn't like that Take Care, Take Care, Take Care album, but this is really good. Yeah, post-rock. Show a few CDs, and we'll go back to LPs. Probably my 3rd favorite LP that year, Radiohead in Rainbows. Radiohead, in general, to me, I'm sort of using these albums from 2007 to comment on the bands as a whole. Radiohead, for me, as Chuck Klosterman, the writer, once wrote in an article, and I really agree with what he said about Radiohead. Radiohead is a band that is both overrated and underrated. What I mean by that is Radiohead does have, and it's not really their fault, but it's just culture seems to put a lot of importance on everything that they release. Your NPR type critics, people like that, Rolling Stone or whatever, mainstream critics, just think that everything they do is the greatest thing in the world, and that the new Radiohead album's out, oh my gosh, you know, just, and I mean, yeah, Radiohead is a great band, and also on the flip side of that, there's a lot of people that just hate Radiohead because they think they're so pretentious, and I'm somewhere in the middle. I think they're both overrated and underrated. They're a phenomenal band. They're really great. I really love, you know, I love Kid A. I love OK Computer, The Bends, and In Rainbows. Those are the four standouts for me. You can't deny just that they're wonderful musicians and they make wonderful music. But I don't think they're most innovative musicians in the world. I don't want to go on a Radiohead rant, but anyway, they do make some great records, and this is definitely one of them. In my opinion, this is Radiohead's them really finding their voice. It's almost a perfect statement of they really, with this album, they blended the past styles of music together really beautifully and came up with something just that really defined them as a band, more so than with OK Computer, more guitar-driven type stuff, and just a huge cataclysmic shift to Kid A, which works so well, and they had such balls for doing that. And then, you know, Hail to the Thief was sort of, I'll say Hail to the Thief was sort of busy, and not as focused. And with this, when they came back with this, there's guitars on this, there's synths on this, there's at times live drums, there's everything really balances really, really well. And the songs, more importantly than that, the songs are just fantastic. Not a bad song in the bunch, really. And just what all this album stood for, just revolutionary as far as I know. It was the first mainstream band to do the pay what you want model. Really transformed the mainstream music industry, I think, that was dying anyway. And they released something that just great. I think this is one of their best albums. Probably my second favorite Radiohead album behind Kid A. I love this album. So yeah. Another CD, 2007, Debut from Battles. This is Mirrored. This is on Warp Records. Chris Battles, members of the old band Helmets. This is, I guess you would call this math rock. Really, really interesting stuff. When this came out, I never really heard anything that sounded like this, and I think it's just an excellent debut. I really also like Lost Rock from them. Have that one on vinyl, but yeah, Battles Mirrored, amazing musicianship, very creative, fantastic. I believe this is her second album, MIA Kala. This is on Interscope. Phenomenal album. I really also like MIA's first record that Chris 4127 Basket showed, RUR, I believe that was called. I really haven't liked anything MIA has done since this. I did like a few songs here and there. I think Bad Girls is a great single from her last album, but this was really her last great record that I think MIA made. I actually saw her on this tour. It was called the People vs. Money Tour. It was just a great show, just party. She came out in pajamas and just invited everyone up on the stage, and just unbelievable artist and personality. And her sound really perfects itself on this album, in my opinion. So yeah, MIA Kala. A few more. I was hesitant to put this one on here, but I did. I don't know. Spoon, Ga Ga Ga. This is the last. Like MIA, this is really the last Spoon record that I really liked. Love the opening track, Don't Make Me a Target. And of course, The Underdog I think is a great song, and you got your Cherry Bomb. It is Spoon's most populous record to date, but I think that it does work for them. And again, I was on the fence with this one because to me it's almost more of like a bottom tier 20 pick or something like that for the year. But I thinking about it, I did like it a lot when it came out. So part of this list is just nostalgia for me. So yeah, Spoon. Two more records. The National, Boxer. I showed in my 2005 video Alligator, and I keep going back and forth between Alligator and Boxer as far as my favorite National record. You know, having said that, I also really like High Violet and Trouble Will Find Me quite a bit. As I said in 2005, I think all their LPs, they've never made a perfect LP in my opinion, a 5-star LP or a 10 out of 10. They've made a lot of consistently good records. Very, very consistent band. This is a phenomenal LP. Just a lot of great songs on it. Yeah, I just like this one a lot. I liked it a lot when it came out, and I still put it on every now and then. So, and lastly, and I know, at least I know right offhand that Fred's probably going to disagree with this one, and that's okay. I think a lot of Fred's criticism has a lot of merit to it, and I'll actually like to hear it quite a bit because I respect his opinion so much. I'm not sure where Chris stands on these guys. I think both of them really liked Funeral, as did I, but this is Arcade Fire Neon Bible. I would put this in my top 10 for 2007. I really did like this one. Having said that, I really don't like the Suburbs. I liked one song on the Suburbs. I like the Sprawl too, and I really actually did a review of Reflector. I really didn't like Reflector either. But I did like this one when it came out because, like most people of a certain age, I loved Funeral when it came out. I was in college and blew my mind and blah blah blah, classic. When this came out, I think everyone was kind of let down. At least my friends were, that this was not Funeral 2. This was a little bit different. And I didn't like it at first, but over the years I've grown to appreciate it quite a bit. And I respect them for not doing the huge orchestrations that were on Funeral, trying to replicate that. They did go a little bit more almost Americana with this one, and it really works at times. I think there's a lot of good songs on this one. It's another one it's really been a grower for me. Love the sound, like on the song Intervention. Now, I know they recorded this in a church, just this huge sound. Passionate vocals by Win Butler and company, great songs. I really like the song, which one is it? And Antichrist Television Blues. And it is sort of them doing Springsteen. I get that, but I think they do it pretty well. I like this record. So there you go. Gimme 10 from 2007. Thanks for watching.